Bryan Scott officially assigned to the XFL Vegas Vipers. So before all the news came out about the XFL supplemental draft, the league announced that Bryan Scott is signed with the XFL, with the Vegas Vipers, the worst kept secret, perhaps. Scott is something of a spring football legend, a Division III prospect who was likened to Aaron Rodgers. He has inspired many with his story despite his humble beginnings at a small school. The next step in the legacy of Bryan Scott lies in Las Vegas. Implications of the move. So what does it mean? Well, if you're being honest, Sam Just wrote this story, believes this throws the idea of a two-quarterback system out the window, simply evaluating where each quarterback is at in their career and where they left off. It's his belief would be that the clear pecking order for the Vegas Vipers is going to be Bryan Scott is QB1, QB2 is Luis Perez, and QB3 is Jalen McClendon. At the very least, the Vipers are in for the most intriguing quarterback battle seen in a long time. Our man, Pat Ruffino, the post-2000 career Spring League passing touchdown leaders, Brandon Silver, Brooks Bollinger, Tommy Maddox, Luis Perez, P.J. Walker, John Wolfork. Luis Perez could make history this season as getting some of those things. But safe to say that this quarterback room is built on names that will leave spring football fans from all the corners intrigued. Even in reaching the arena fans, with McClendon sure to draw fans from his time in the NAL and AAL. Scott most recently served as a starting quarterback for the Bart Andrus-led Philadelphia Stars in the USFL. Scott played with Andrus in the past during their time with the Spring League, having never lost a game. Then he followed him as first selection of the Stars in the 2022 USFL draft. Before suffering an injury in Week 3, Scott looked like he would be on the top quarterback in the league. Per StatsCrew.com, Scott completed over 70% of his passes, throwing 558 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Scott isn't regarded as a mobile quarterback, but he has the mobility to run when needed, as showcased by his 9 carries for 23 yards and a touchdown in just 3 games. If Scott had continued his pace through the 2022 season, he would have produced 1,860 yards, 16 touchdowns, and just 7 interceptions. Now, with the new springing up in 2023, Scott has decided to place himself in a new offense. Could it prove to be a good thing? Well, the Dwayne Taylor effect. We recently learned that Dwayne Taylor, formerly the assistant head coach and offensive coordinator at Alabama A&M, has led high-flying offenses in the past. Highlighted the steps of Akel Glass, took under his tutelage in previous articles, Sam has. For those who didn't catch it, you can expect Coach Taylor to continue Scott's development, helping him get better year after year. Scott recently was spotted, of course, at the Jordan Palmer camp, so we knew that there was going to be a good chance he would end up in the XFL. There were even whispers as to where he would land, but nothing could officially be announced until today. Now we know for certain. When asked about his time working with Palmer, Scott said, yes, he's the best coach I've ever been around. He coaches it unlike anyone else in the country. He helped me a lot. Hope my game shows that, close quote. Now, something tells us that we will soon feel similar about Coach Taylor. Welcome to the Vegas Vipers, Bryan Scott. So fans who don't know him will get to know him. Remember, he was a focal point when the USFL had their NFL-style TV show, United by Football, kind of like the NFL behind the scenes on HBO TV shows that they had. So he was a focal point until he got hurt, and then he was kind of out. But the Philadelphia Stars made it to the USFL championship game. Who knows what would have happened if he played in that game? But Bryan Scott is now a Vegas Viper.